Goodyear Endurance trailer tires have to be one of the most recommended RV towable trailer tires out there. Well, we've had ours for over a year now, over 7,000 miles. How have they held up? Stay tuned. Okay, this is just a really quick video. We recommended these tires back in July 2018 and just wanted to go over how they've held up, just an update video on how they're doing. So a lot of people recommend these, but I don't see a lot of updates on the tires. So the first thing I'll go over is the Goodyear Endurance have this DuraWall technology. I was convinced that was just a gimmick thing when I bought them. I'd heard good things about them. I still wanted the tires, but I was convinced that that was pretty much a gimmick. Well, I'm kind of sold on it. I mean, there's been a few times, you can probably see in the video, I don't know if you can or not, where I've nicked a curb or two, and they have held up really well. I think that really is something that this tire features that's not just a gimmick. I think there is an actual value there. Otherwise, they've been good. They track well, they've worn evenly. Obviously, I keep them aired up. I pay attention to the PSIs. I never go over 72 miles an hour maybe. I generally stick it around 65 most of the time. But they've held up really great. Now, one thing about these tires is they're good for 87 miles an hour. And it says it on here somewhere. I mean, I would never tow that fast. That's crazy to me. But yeah, that just gives you an idea of their construction. Okay, friends, one thing I neglected to mention in my first cut is I kept my Westlake, one of my Westlakes, as a spare. And it's interesting because I hardly ever have to add air to these tires. They hold air remarkably well. I'm always generally surprised. The Westlake, on the other hand, my spare, I have to add air to it nearly every trip, which is almost monthly. The interesting thing about that is these go through a lot more temperature swings than the spare, obviously. So I don't know if it's the aluminum rim, the spare's a steel rim. I don't know, maybe the Westlake's not as good a tire. I kind of assume that, but it's hard to say. But either way, I have to put air in these hardly ever, and the Westlake almost every trip. So just another little side note. So yeah, just a real quick video to let you guys know we've been with these over a year, again, over 7,000 miles, and they are holding up very well. I would still certainly recommend them. So I hope this video was useful for you. If anyone's thinking about these tires, make sure to share it with them and consider subscribing. Thanks, everybody. Over a year and over 7,000 miles later, how have the Goodyear Endurance trailer tires